the matter of Danny Mead, 211803. And appearance, counsel?
Attorney Corey Westmoreland, appearing on behalf of Mr. Mead. Mr. Mead, would you unmute yourself and state your name for the record?
No, sir, you have to unmute yourself, Mr. Mead. Okay, please state your name for the record.
Danny Mead.
All right, and so today's date scheduled for probation violation. You're on probation for possession of controlled substance. It's alleged you tested positive for cocaine on May 30th and failed to pay. This will be technical violations number 4 and 5. And counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Mead regarding the allegations. At this time, we are prepared to waive any sort of contested hearing and enter a guilty plea on my client's behalf.
All right, Mr. Mead, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. And sir, excuse me, as to the allegation you tested positive for cocaine, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to the allegation you failed to pay, how do you plead?
Guilty with an explanation.
Excuse me. And you've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct? For probation
Yes,
violation purposes?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understood all of those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You also understand that by entering into a plea, you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your trial right, your right to a contested hearing, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And specifically the recommendation that you be sentenced to jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing all that, do you still want to continue with your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and counsel, if you can please go to your client.
Sure. Mr. Mead, are you currently on probation out of the Wyandotte District Court?
Yes.
As a term and condition of your probation, are you to not test positive for any drugs or alcohol that you don't have a prescription for?
Yes, sir.
Did you in fact test positive for cocaine on May 30th of this year?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that that's a violation of your probation?
Yes, sir.
Additionally, have you failed to pay off your costs and fines as ordered by probation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that's a violation of your probation?
Yes, sir.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
The court is also satisfied the plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to the probation violation. And as to the recommendation, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor. I would simply just be asking this honorable court for leniency on behalf of my client. He's made a mistake. He's owned it. He's taken responsibility for it. What I would like to note and highlight is that Mr. Mead has not had a violation in roughly 6 months. He's apologetic for his actions. I would like you to know that he is self-employed. He is aware fully that he owes the money. He has a couple big contracts that are coming to an end where he's going to be receiving payment in full for those jobs. So he will be able to pay all his costs and fines off in full. At this time, Your Honor, I would just be asking for leniency on his behalf. He's been open and upfront and honest with this honorable court. He's not trying to deceive anybody in any way. So again, he hasn't had a violation in roughly 6 months. I would just ask for leniency on behalf of Mr. Mead.
All right, and so Mr. Mead,
Yes, ma'am.
let's talk about this cocaine for a minute.
Okay.
You had matters dismissed in 2021 under 7411, felony matters, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And that was also for possession, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in this court from a matter that occurred prior to that one. This is from September of 21. And That was also for possession, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And all of these have been for cocaine, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And now you are here testing positive for cocaine.
Your Honor,
Yeah,
6 months.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you previously had prior probation violations out of this court for this offense that were also positive for cocaine, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Specifically two. So this would be your third positive cocaine test, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so why should I not adopt the recommendation for 30 days jail, sir?
Your Honor, I'm doing better than I ever have. 6 months. 6 months, I never thought I'd see it. I made a big mistake in a moment of weakness. And I can promise you, nothing you can do will compare to what I've done to myself. Like I said, I'm beating myself up over it. I can't believe it happened. It's just like one moment of weakness with some people I haven't seen in a long time. And I know it's no excuse, but 6 months, 6 months. I'm getting my life back. Everything's starting to fall into play. Talking to my family again. I've earned back my respect. I'm back in the church. I'm working all the time. And the only reason that I haven't paid the fines as of yet, I've been doing a lot of big commercial contracts that I never have done before. And I had to pay out of pocket for payroll and all the expenses. So in 2 weeks, I get a check and I just planned on paying the whole thing off.
Sir, you were sentenced January of 2022. It's been almost 18 months that you've been on probation. You haven't made one payment.
No, I've made payments.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have made some payments. You've made $600, not even, well, about $600 worth of payments.
I'm sorry.
You've made about $600 worth of payments.
Yeah, like I said, in 2 weeks, I've got a $18,500 check coming, and I'll be paying everything off. I can come down today and pay a couple $100, just money I was putting aside for rent. I don't know, Your Honor, you believed in me, you gave me a break, and I let you down, but I let myself down too.
So, sir, what happened that you relapsed?
Hanging around with people I haven't seen in years, and it was there. Everybody was doing. I should have just turned around and left, but I did one line and I left, and it was too late to take it back.
Well, sir, I understand that you've been making strides, that you haven't had a violation in 6 months. Well, 5 months.
Well,
6 months, 6 months. However, your violations continue to be the same thing, positive for cocaine.
Your Honor, if you'll give me one chance, one last chance, I promise you, before I was an alcoholic, I drank every day, all day. I was on fentanyl. I did that all day long. I laid in the bed kicking 2 weeks with no medication to get rid of it. The alcohol made me sick on top of that. I've made enormous strides. I'm not, I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to tell you the situation. I've made changes that probably saved my life.
Sir, I can understand and appreciate that, and I'm not discrediting any of that. However, you still chose to use a line of cocaine on May 30th. You have no idea what was in it. There could have been fentanyl. That could have been the last one you ever did because you didn't have a chance to do another one.
I realize that.
This is your fourth and fifth violations for the same violation. You're continuing to use cocaine while you're on probation for possession of cocaine. You previously had a felony matters that you pled to, dismissed under advisement. And so the court's going to indicate under advisement status, we're revoking probation, closing the case on improvement, $50 probation violation fee, 30 days jail.
Oh. Your Honor,
Sir, I gave you opportunities. I gave you multiple opportunities. You still even have warrants that you haven't cleared up.
I know, I've been working towards it. I was in a pretty deep hole. Just trying to climb out.
You have
Your
to
Honor,
report, what is that?
I want to say one thing though. Regardless of everything, thank you for what you did for me and making me see that I had to change my life. It wasn't wasted.
Well, I'm glad, sir, that you did get something out of it. The court's going to also indicate, as a deferred sentence is not going to be there anymore, that you will have a suspended license.
What's that?
Your license will end up being suspended, sir.
For how long?
180 days.
Oh, wow.
Well, sir, because your under advisement is being revoked, it's going to hit your record, and so that's what's going to happen. So you are to report today at 6 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
Contact Michelle. She'll tell you how you go about reporting, sir.
All right.
Thank you. All right, we're going to go off the record. Recall the matter of Gregory. Did you talk to Mr. Gerald again?
No, I haven't. I've been with all these other people.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do, because the Wayne County Jail, we've been tying up their cameras all day.
I understand, right?
So we also have 3 other cases here. So, Mr. Gerald, do you want to continue with your plea or no? Hold on, you need to unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yes, do you want to continue with your plea or not, sir?
Yes. I know
You do.
that I know that, ma'am, I know that I'm guilty for drinking and.
Okay, so let's, are you comfortable with going forward, Mr.
I am comfortable
Wilcox?
with it.
We're going on the record and that of the city of Wyandotte versus Gregory Gerald, 231-418. And appearance, counsel?
Your Honor, for the record, John Goldthorpe, P. 30758 on behalf of Mr. Gerald.
Mr. Gerald, your name for the record, please.
Gregory Joseph Gerald.
All right, today's date scheduled for a pretrial in this matter. And it's my understanding that you're going to be pleading guilty to public intoxication and the open intoxicant is going to be dismissed, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Please raise,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what's that, sir?
I wanted to explain, that's why I raised my right hand. I
Hold
apologize.
on, I'm gonna have you raise your right hand to swear in. You solemnly swear from the testimony about to give this matter to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, and sir, as to the allegation of public intoxication, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes, I have, ma'am. I had
And you,
a few things that I
Sir?
wanted you to actually know about is all, ma'am. That's what I was trying to explain prior before. I wasn't bad at my attorney, nothing like that. I just wanted you to understand that the things that I got arrested for there was crimes involved why I got arrested. They assaulted me, certain kinds of things.
yes, and sir, be assured that I do understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so, sir, You've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand all those rights.
Yes, ma'am.
You also understand that by entering into a plea that you'll be waiving some of those rights,
Yes, ma'am.
specifically your trial and appellate rights.
Yes.
You also understand that by entering into a plea that you understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea, correct?
He said that it could be chargeable up to 90 days in jail is what he said. I'm not very sure about that, but I don't want to be charged up to 90 days in jail. I'm just trying to actually.
Sir, I understand that. Sir,
I
please.
apologize. I'm sorry.
I understand that. I just need to make sure that you understand what the maximum possible penalty is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you understand the maximum possible penalty is up to 93 days in jail and or a $500 fine? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and knowing all that, you still want to continue with your plea?
Yes. That's,
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
no, it's just, if I can explain it, they used to let me drink in public and they never pulled me over. A few cops have picked me up with open
Okay, sir.
county is all I'm trying to say.
Okay. Okay, I hear what you're saying, Mr. Gopal.
That's all I'm trying
Would you
to
like
say.
to pause your client?
I love to. Mr. Jarrell,
Yes, ma'am.
on
Yes,
on June 12th of 2023, were you in the city of Wyandotte?
June 12th, I was.
The night you were arrested, you were in the
Yes,
city of
June
Wyandotte, is
12th
that correct?
at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. And there came a point in time when it was your birthday, correct?
Yes, sir, it was.
And you were out celebrating and you were drinking to excess, is that correct?
Yeah, kind of, but at
And
the
you
same
were,
time,
and you were drinking alcohol, is that correct?
yes, I drank 1 pint.
And you were out in public and there came a point in time when you came in contact with the police department, is that correct?
Yes,
And you were intoxicated in public at that time, is that correct?
I laid down is what I did, and I felt
Right,
sick.
and then the police came and they revived you and everything like that, right? I believe, Your Honor, there is a breath test of 0.22, and we will stipulate that. And you're satisfied.
All right, the court is also satisfied that plea is knowing, voluntary, and factually accurate. The court will accept your plea to count 1, dismiss count 2 for the plea agreement. And we will schedule this matter for sentencing on July 17th at 9:30 a.m. And
I'm sorry, what time is that?
9:30 a.m.
Thank you.
And sir, I'm going to have to see how we're going to have this PSI done. I don't know if there's any more camera space we can tie up for the Wayne County Jail, so we may have to have them call in, plus it's gonna be shift change soon, so in any event. Bonding conditions are continued.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Rose, I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Let's go.
Excuse me. Like, I'm gonna go insane in my mind. What's going on right now is you shouldn't hold me in jail. You should have gave me like a bond reduction or something. Like what I gave you, if I can, I would have talked to the prosecuting attorney on the charges.
Sir, let me be very clear.
Because I have been
Based upon
held
your-
in here on
based
3.
upon your criminal,
That's
sir,
what I'm trying to
based-
say. Multiple times.
please
They have
stop.
done that every day.
Sir,
This is
just
what
one
I'm trying
moment.
to explain. Look, I want to punch the computer right now, and I'm not trying to. You're wrong as hell for doing what you're doing. I just got threatened in here. My toes get bit. They threaten to kill me every day while I'm in here. Can you understand that you can't hold me inside of here? What you're doing is illegal. I get threatened.
sir,
I get threatened to die.
if you have,
And I'm
sir,
nothing like
if you have
nobody else.
concerns,
Can you understand what I'm saying? You're not caring about my safe and well-being. You're not caring about it, not one bit.
are you going to stop so I can speak?
Yes.
Thank you. If you have concerns regarding your safety, you can certainly bring them up to the deputies. I will mark your file, excuse me, please stop. I will
just
mark
got
your file
threatened because
accordingly.
you're alive. Like you're sitting here
Excuse
and fucking
I-
not even understanding what I just said
All
here.
right, we're done.
Reflect the
We're done.
stimulus
We're-
checks
no,
in my
we're done.
name the whole
Thank
entire
you.
time.
Okay, I don't know how we want to do that PSI. Probably not a good day to do that PSI anyway, so maybe we can schedule it on a day to zoom in or something, I don't know. Wayne County Jail, Mr. Gerald needs the PSI, but I don't think today is a good day for that, so we're going to figure out how to reschedule that PSI for a Zoom if that's possible.
Okay.
Okay, and I apologize for tying up your cameras all morning.
You're okay.